go. Oh. Welcome to the next part of the Tried by Fire videos, where we are uploading on a weekly basis now. We're just going to jump right back into what we were talking about last week, and you can follow along. If you have not watched that video yet, I suggest you go back. It's like super short. You could just watch it and then be like, yeah, that's great. I can't wait to see what happens in this video. Or you could just skip it.
Number 2, the meaning of it all.
Verse 12, it says, "And further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh." Whoa. Are you trying to kill the viewers?
No.
"We can study until our brains explode." Spurgeon said, "Visit many good books, but live in the Bible." I've read the Apocrypha. I've read the parts of the Book of Mormon, some of the Quran, and many more. But I didn't read them so I can find truth. I read them because I wanted to know what these other religions believed in, and so I can compare them to the Bible. Which one do you think stood stronger?
There's an importance to studying other religions and studying other books, but it's not to try and find truth in them. It is to have the knowledge you need to bring these very lost people into all truth. The Bible is the only book that displays our fallen nature.
Hebrews 10:16 says, "This is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their hearts, and in their minds will I write them, and their sins and iniquities will I remember no more." Now, where remission of these is, there is no more offering for sin. We know it's not okay to lie, steal, or murder. We know this is wrong, and we know that we should never do this, because God put it into our hearts and minds from birth. Yet, we're all guilty of all three of these things. No other book teaches that God has written these laws into our hearts and minds, and then teaches us why we have not obeyed these injustices. All the other books really just teach you how to perfect yourselves.
God says that there is no way for you to be perfect and sinless. Romans 3:23 says, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God." I'm not saying that the Bible has every answer to every single problem. I'm not going to my Bible to learn about American history or about mathematics, for instance. But I could go to the Bible to understand people. You can study much, but Solomon says it is a weariness of the flesh. Don't worry about unimportant books, but you should worry about truth of eternity and justice in this life.
Verse 13 says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." Some light bulbs may have just gone on as we came to this part of the lesson. Now I understand why he named this series that. It's befitting, isn't it? The conclusion is not really the end here. He's saying that the end of the conversation, the end of the reason to live and continue on, the end of the whole matter in life and for eternity is that we are to fear God and keep his commandments. This is the wisest thing Solomon could have ended this book on. Proverbs 1:7 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." Proverbs 8:13, "The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. Pride and arrogancy in the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate." Proverbs 14:26-27 says, "And the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death." Or Proverbs 3:7 says, "Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord, and depart from evil." These verses from the book of Proverbs were specifically chosen because they are the wisdom of Solomon pouring out and connecting to this literal verse here.
This life is so much easier when we simplify it down like Solomon does here. He spends 12 chapters on a rant about vanity to lead straight to this point here: to fear God and keep his commandments. What a great verse. It's so simple yet complex. The Christians can read this verse and think, piece of cake. I'm already doing this. Are you though? I mean, how does the fear of God look like in your life? Does it look like Christ? Are you keeping his commandments?
I go through the commands of Christ with Melody pretty often. There are 6 that she knows of. The lost will not see what the commands of God are. They think it's the 10 Commandments. We're not controlled by the 10 Commandments when we accept Christ. Romans 6:14 says, "For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace." The law was to bring us into the relationship we needed for salvation through Christ, and then Christ's commands are what the Christians must follow. This is the whole duty of man.
So verse 14 says, "For God shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil." So here we are. at the end of the series. What will it look like when you stand before God? This says, He will judge every secret thing and every work, whether it be good or even if it's evil. How will that be for you?
People have said, only God can judge me. You're so right. And how does that look? 2 Corinthians 5:10 says, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. There's no purgatory or middle resting area. The Bible doesn't speak of that. Your soul does not stay here on earth like some religions would teach. Again, the Bible doesn't speak of those things. Hebrews 9:27 says, and it is appointed unto men once to die, but after that, the judgment, straight to God. In the end, you will be before God, with or without Christ. This all depends on what you do now with your soul's matter. 1 Peter 4:17 says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? Heed the warnings of Solomon while you still have time. Don't squander the life in which God has given you and the chances in which God keeps allowing you. Eventually, you will run out of chances. Don't get stuck in a state of depression, but come out and follow God into joy unspeakable and full of glory. 1 Peter 1:7-8 says that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ, whom, having not seen, ye love, in whom though now you see him not, yet believing, you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. Well, that was it. We did the whole series. We're done. We're going to go through the I Am series next. But if you want to get more in depth on this series, you can buy the book. It has a lot more information in that book. You can also take your time and read through it. I just enjoy reading books. So even if you've watched this series, you can go back through that series. We also have the I Am series already out. You can get a head start before we even start recording. And then you can read that, and then you can let me know how it is. And then you can buy the Born for Adversity book when that comes out, because that's coming out later this year. And then I have another secret surprise coming later this year in about November. So keep your eyes peeled on our socials. There's been some hints. We are going to be doing a giveaway, a brand spanking new cowhide leather, premium leather Bible. It's super flexible, smells, tastes, I'm not gonna taste it. It looks like leather because it is leather. It even has this little printing. Actually, this is goat skin. Goat skin. Did I say cowhide? Mm-hmm. It's not what I meant. Goat skin leather. It's even imprinted. It says goat skin. That way you know they're not lying. How could they lie in the Bible? Until then, keep watching other videos. Why are you still here?